Hello everyone and welcome to AlgoExpertise. Here I'll be discussing everything there is to know about algorithms, data structures and more such concepts from the field of computer science. If you've gone through learning algorithms before, you know how cumbersome it can be to actually find the right resource at the right time. It's almost impossible, isn't it? Now, through AlgoExpertise, I intend to unite all such resources and create awareness on how developers like yourselves can learn concepts like algorithms and data structures much more easily, and that too online. Now there might be a question in your mind, why should I even go about learning data structures or algorithms? Unfortunately, a lot of beginners and professional developers like ourselves, they tend to avoid learning data structures and algorithms. There are many reasons for that. One of them being that they maybe think it is too complex. Maybe it is because they've not been introduced to the concepts in the correct manner. I remember in my undergraduate days when I was actually introduced to merge sorts and binary trees and concepts of the sort, I was actually quite scared and I was dreading learning those concepts. But I can understand what you're going through. Secondly, maybe they think there's no actual use of data structures and algorithms in real life. It's partially true, you could say, because maybe some people say that yes, the software has been developed, it's already been optimized, and what you're going to develop is actually going to make use of pre-built libraries. Unfortunately, that will not work in a professional environment. If you head out to your first interview, you will actually find that interviewers love to question on these topics. Data structures and algorithms are a key part of the interview process. But you don't worry. I'll help you relieve yourself from all these worries and get started the right way to learn algorithms and data structures online. Let's take a quick break from all the worries and then let's take a bit of an example, shall we? Now, let's say you have a PDF document and it's actually quite large. It has almost 20,000 pages in it. And what I ask you with is you have to find your roll number in it. 20,000 page PDF document and one single roll number. How hard is it going to be? Well, let's say I add one more aspect to the problem. The roll numbers are organized in an increasing order. How might you now go about solving the problem? Well, it's data structures. Simply organizing your searching and lookups using efficient data structures can help you do the same problem much more quicker. For example, a binary search. Break the problem in half. Is the roll number on the left or is the roll number on the right? What part of the 20,000 page PDF document are you going to consider for your next move? We'll be covering more on binary search trees and similar such concepts later, but let's head back to the initial discussion. Why do people fail at learning data structures and algorithms online? If it's that easy, why don't they? Well, it's not easy, and it's maybe because you just don't feel motivated enough. Let's say you started off with learning data structures and algorithms in a course. And well, they can be quite hard to understand at first. And if you do not actually set a mantra to yourselves that yes, you have to push through this phase and you have to do it forcefully and you have to learn these concepts, you might lose motivation in between and you might stop, or you might not be comfortable with it in the near future. But there can be another reason. Maybe you're just not clear on what language you're going to work with. Although programming languages do not really matter in terms of algorithms and data structures, but this is a concern by many developers, and we'll be taking a look at how you can resolve this problem. Maybe you've just picked a course on data structures and algorithms recommended by either your mentor or maybe your friend, but that course is just not suitable for you. Maybe your skill level is not reflected back into the course that you have just picked. Maybe it's just not the one for you. And lastly, maybe you're just action faking. Although this might be a bitter truth, but maybe you're just not actually ingesting the knowledge. Just cruising through the videos for a certification or for the feeling of completion of the course. That's not actual knowledge. You have to sit through the course. You have to sit through each video and you have to ingest the knowledge. You have to understand what the instructor is telling you and you have to learn those concepts by heart. That is how you're going to learn data structures and algorithms online. Well, worry not. I will be covering how you can deal with these issues individually. And now to the final part. How can you learn data structures and algorithms online? There are a few steps to how you can do that, and I'll be presenting those to you now. Let's say the step number 1. First, you have to choose a programming language that suits you. Although I did mention that programming languages do not matter when learning algorithms and data structures, but for a developer, almost every developer has one preferred programming language. It is the language in which you're going to code. And so you have to pick that language. Secondly, you're going to have to pick a course. Once you've picked the course, you're now going to take up projects. You're going to start implementing those concepts. You're going to practice and practice and practice. And then finally, you're going to apply for jobs. Maybe you're not looking for them, but you're still going to apply for them. Now, you might be wondering, why is it actually important to apply for jobs? And we'll be covering that as well. Let's not be too hasty, shall we? Now, let's take a look at each one of these individually. First, choosing a programming language. Now, if you're about to choose a programming language that actually suits you, you might make a decision considering actually these three aspects. Who you are as a developer is going to make this decision for you. Maybe you love to program in C language, which is actually the preferred language for systems development. Maybe you love JavaScript, which is the preferred language for web application development. Or maybe you're just great at Python, which is an excellent resource for making or building or implementing machine learning projects and data science and so on and so forth. So maybe you, as your own personality, decides what programming language you're going to choose. Maybe you would like to learn a particular language. Maybe that is going to decide what programming language you want to use. I wish to learn Ruby, for example. So maybe I'd be practicing my algorithm and data structure concepts in the language Ruby. Maybe it's something else for you. And finally, what is in demand? Actually, most developers and professional developers I'm talking about here, they actually tend to select languages and programming languages which are in demand because they wish to be hired. They wish to be known in the market for actually having great experience in that particular programming language. So maybe it's that you're after. Now choose a programming language that best fits you and what concepts you know. There's lots of programming languages nowadays, and finding the right one actually is not the only thing. But still, for your ease, I'll be covering a few programming languages. For example, JavaScript, which is the best programming language for web developers and designers and the likes. Secondly, C++. It's best for old-timers, system developers, hardware engineers, and so on. Python, it's the best programming language for data scientists and machine learning engineers and so on. Java, it is the preferred language for backend developers. Most backend systems, by the way, in professional environments are built on Java and its frameworks like Spring and so on. Swift, it is the preferred programming language for iOS engineers. It's released by Apple itself and it's used to build iOS applications. Finally, C#, which is used for Microsoft application development, and you can build your GUI applications using this. And now, Go. Go is actually for the early adopters of technology. It's built by Google and it's cross-platform and is used nowadays to build software that can be used on several platforms at the same time. Step 2. You have to pick the best online course for it. The internet's full of platforms for learning materials. Which one is the best? I'll quickly review 4 platforms here: Udemy, Coursera, AlgoExpert, and Codecademy. Udemy is great in terms of learning material and pricing, but the industrial value isn't that great. Nonetheless, it's for the price range of $7 to $12, the platform still hosts some of the best courses online for algorithms and data structures. Next, Coursera is perhaps the best there is. Most universities and well-known organizations upload their coursework here, and the quality is amazing, both in terms of the coursework and the returns in terms of industrial value. The pricing might be a bit high if you're subscribing to their courses, but they do offer scholarships and financial aids to students and for needy people. You can apply for those easily. AlgoExpert. As of recording this video, AlgoExpert is a newcomer to the field of computer science, yet quickly taking the bulls by the horn. The coursework is personally my favorite. There's loads of topics and coverage on all topics in the algorithm and data structure field. The industrial value might not reflect back to you quickly since it's all new and shiny, but the learning material is spot on. The pricing is set at $85, but you can check my description for a promotion code to get a $15 10% discount on the final price. Lastly, Code Academy. Code Academy is our last option. The coursework starts off with the basics and grows in terms of complexity. It isn't my personal favorite, yet some topic explanations on algorithms and data structures are the best there are online, and that's why it ranks 4th in my list. It costs around $16. It's 15.99 cents per month if you are being exact, but that's it. Now, learning isn't only focused on courses. Not to mention, books are the greatest resources to learn anything, right? You can use books. Books are your ultimate friends through thick and thin. Whether it's Diedel's Algorithms and Data Structures or Cracking the Coding Interview by Gail Lackman, these books are the best there are. I'll list them in my description as well so you can have a look as well to these 5 and others that I'd suggest you to read. Step 3. You have to solve problems and take up projects. AlgoExpert has a lot of problems and questions you can solve in order to get practical experience. These problems will help you practice the concepts, apply them, and then understand the use cases as well. For example, where are you actually going to apply these in the real world? Let's take up a quick example and see how AlgoExpert has offered us these projects and what are you going to learn in one of those. Now here you can have a look at the 100 coding interview questions. Now this is all the practice you need to ace the coding interviews. The website says it all. Now there are 100 questions for you which are grouped by difficulty, by category, and then finally randomly, where I'm going to pick one of these 3 problems which are free. I can give you a quick tour as to what problems are available. For example, here's a new one, minimum height BST, which I believe is binary search tree. This is a topological sort, merge linked list, which are a must-have in a developer's toolkit, and so on. Pattern matcher and multi-string match, extremely hard and very hard, and there's loads of problems there for you to do. These problems will help you practice the concept we've just learned. Now, after that, you're going to have to take up some personal projects. For example, develop a medicinal management system with hash tables, sorts, and lots of other concepts you must have studied by now. The sorts can be anything from merge sort to quick sort to bubble sort to whatever you have learned. Feel free to practice what problem requires what usage of algorithms and data structures. You are the developer. You are going to have to choose what and how am I going to develop my application. So it's all on you and how you're going to learn and practice it. If you've taken up freelancing projects and internships now, it's time to move to step 4. Apply for jobs. Even if you don't want one, you should try to make it a habit. Read the descriptions, the job descriptions, see what companies are looking for in engineers, and then send out your resumes. Interviews are the best ways, and I'll repeat this again, interviews are the best ways for you to prepare for your professional career and actually get industry ready and see what questions are interviewers going to ask. If you know more about those, you're going to practice those, and finally you're going to ace your interview. Maybe on your second try, maybe even on your first try, and only you can define that. Lastly, I'll be leaving this video with a few tips in your presence, so let's get to those. First, you have to understand the usage of complexities. What are space-time complexities, for example? What are time complexities? How efficient is your algorithm? How optimized is your algorithm? Learn about it. Algorithms actually have to be efficient and optimized. This is a requirement. This is not even an optional feature. They have to be that. And when you're going to be learning and implementing those concepts, you can learn more about complexities as well. And then you're going to finally see how your algorithm is going to be implemented and the programming language that you've just chosen for yourselves, which was our first step. Secondly, you're going to have to start from the basics. Don't look at others. Don't look at what information is available. Just start at the basics. Maybe start at stacks. Maybe start at queues. Maybe start at the simplest algorithm to search, which is maybe even directly searching the record in those 20,000 pages. But you're going to see what's the problem with that. And once you are going to realize the problem, you're going to think of a solution. That is exactly what is computer science and software development. Thinking of innovative and creative solutions to problems. Data structures are excellent ways to store your data efficiently in memory. Now, in production setups and applications, inefficient applications aren't just acceptable. Your clients, they will not appreciate an application that's making them sit for 20 minutes to just search one record out of 1,000,000 or maybe 1,000,000,000 records. You are the optimizer. You are going to have to optimize it to make it efficient. That's it for today, guys. We've also covered the same topic on more detail actually on our blog, which is AlgoExpertise.com. Here's our website, AlgoExpertise.com. You can see the recent posts we've made here. You can see some of the comments, and there's lots of other topics here which you can then read and then learn more about how you can learn data structures and algorithms, maybe using a platform, maybe using resources which we have recommended. Here's the article I've been talking about, how to learn data structures and algorithms online. Quickly give it a look. You have to learn what is actually the importance of data structures and algorithms, what is the best way to learn it. You're going to see more about the programming languages, the books, the platforms that I've just discussed. You're going to find those as well. And then finally, there's more discussion on the books here actually. I've sort of left that out of the video, and I'll be actually linking those in the description below. But you can also read this blog and you can learn more about the books that I recommend that you should know about and read in order to learn data structures and algorithms online. Alright, so that is it for today, guys. I hope this video was great. I hope you liked the content. If there's anything you'd like to tell us, or you have feedback, or maybe you'd like a feature, please feel free to comment down below, and we'd love to reply back to you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Goodbye.